It's 11 p.m. You're lying in bed, the blue light of your phone reflecting in your eyes, and that familiar weight sits in your chest. You had plans for today, but instead, you just didn't do them. Most people label this avoidance as laziness. We assume that if we aren't moving, it's because our character or our discipline has failed us. In reality, your brain may be actively shutting down to conserve fuel or protect your ego from a perceived threat. This late-night paralysis is a neurological defense mechanism. When the brain senses overwhelming stress or a lack of clear direction, it defaults to a state of low-energy avoidance to keep you safe. We can dismantle this response by building a 3-step framework for restarting your day. To begin, you need 3 objects: the smartphone in your hand, a blank sticky note, and one specific task you've avoided. Simply watching this video won't reset your neurochemistry. You have to physically interact with these objects to bypass the loop of passive consumption. We have to identify what is actually stopping you. The first blocker is decision fatigue. Every minor choice you make, from picking an outfit to choosing an email subject line, drains your cognitive battery. By the time you reach your most important work, your brain has already spent its fuel on trivialities. This leads to the second blocker, perfectionism. This isn't about high standards, it's about ego protection. If you never start the task, you never have to face the possibility of failing at it. The brain chooses the safety of nothing over the risk of not good enough. When we call these mechanisms laziness, we create a cycle of guilt. That guilt increases your stress levels, which causes the brain to double down on its defensive avoidance. Step 1 is to break that guilt cycle by correctly labeling your state. Take your physical sticky note right now and write down the name of the specific task you've been avoiding. Now, cross out the word lazy and write down either tired or anxious instead. Accuracy is power here. Once you identify that you are feeling anxious about the task's outcome, rather than just being bad at working, you can address the fear instead of fighting your own character. Step 2 is to reduce the friction required to start by altering your physical workspace. Take your phone right now and move it to a different room. Physically separate yourself from the primary source of your distractions. Next, take an object related to your goal and place it where you cannot ignore it. This is a low-friction trigger. By putting your gym shoes on top of your phone, you force your brain to acknowledge the desired habit before you can access your usual distractions. Willpower is a limited resource that fades as the day goes on. Environment design ensures you make the right choice even when your mental energy is low. Step 3 is the 5-minute rule for task initiation. Commit to working on your avoided task for only 5 minutes. You have full permission to stop the moment the timer hits 0. This rule works because the pain you feel when thinking about a task is just the mental friction of the transition. Research shows that once you actually begin, the brain's pain centers quiet down. Take Alex, a student who spent 3 years feeling paralyzed by a single thesis. They would sit down, look at the blank screen, and feel a surge of panic that sent them straight back to their phone. By starting with a single 5-minute session, just opening the file and writing one note, Alex replaced the fear of a massive project with the reality of a small, manageable win. Once you cross that 5-minute threshold, natural momentum takes over. The hardest part, the transition, is already behind you. By relabeling your emotions, reducing environmental friction, and using a 5-minute starting window, you take the pressure off your willpower. Success is the result of how your environment is organized, not how much you want the goal. As James Clear notes, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. I am challenging you to a 7-day experiment. On day 1, keep your phone away for the first 30 minutes of the morning. On day 2, finish one 5-minute task before you open any entertainment. Commit to this experiment by commenting below with the specific habit that makes you feel the most lazy right now. A functional framework protects your time, even on days when your motivation is 0. Subscribe for more practical coaching, and I will see you in the next one.